Hi there, my name is Alana and here at Classy on the Run we love talking about all things high-end makeup and beauty. And if you are new to my channel, I am a Charlotte Tilbury enthusiast. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I'm a Charlotte Tilbury enthusiast. So in the description box down below, there's my Charlotte Tilbury playlist. I have over 50 videos dedicated to Charlotte Tilbury reviews. So if you have a question, a thought about Charlotte Tilbury and you're wondering where to start, head down there because I have everything and more answered. And if you still have questions after watching that, let me know because it's probably a question other people have and I'd be thrilled to make a video about it. So today we're going to be talking about Charlotte Tilbury's holiday collection. So I picked up two pieces from the collection. I picked up the limited edition eyeshadow palette and the fair to medium blush and highlighter palette. So in this video we are going to be putting together this makeup look, which of course uses those products. Once we're done with that, I'm going to be giving you a bit of a review, a recommendation. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I've been looking forward to playing with this palette from the minute it arrived at my doorstep. First of all, like how beautiful is that? It looks like a pink sunset, sparkly, love it, and again, totally reflected in the palette. Okay, so I have MAC Paint Pot and Painterly on my eyelids, that's it. On my face I have foundation, bronzer, aka contour, the Film Star Bronze and Glow. I've got a little bit of powder, again, Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush, and my eyebrows. So we'll be doing our blush and highlighter in a moment with this little holiday palette. But I think what I'm gonna do, oh, and this did come with names, not like built on, but it has a little name sheet. So I think I'm gonna start with a Virtual Taupe, just to build out a little bit of a crease. I don't even know where to start with this palette. So Virtual Taupe is a taupe, a little bit of a satin finish. So I'm using the 15 brush from Refer and it just feels a little bit too stiff for this formula. It's not that it's not blendable, it's just quite pigmented. So I'm gonna go with my Liz Boitier crease brush and I find this one has a little bit more give. You can, I believe, get Liz Boitier at Sephora in Canada, but I know you can for sure get it at Shoppers Drug Mart, which by the way, Charlotte, can you please come to Shoppers Drug Mart? Like if I could get Pokemon points on my purchases, that would be amazing. Okay, so this taupe is really nice. It's definitely giving me sort of the shadow and dimension that I'm looking for. Okay, so we've got our sort of architecture of the face done. Okay, we're gonna go for something very sparkly, but I think before we do that, I'm just gonna go back to that 15 brush and just lay a little bit of pigment down on my eyelids. Just to kind of even it out, because I'm really not sure how pigmented these shimmers are, and like, there's a lot of shimmer in this palette. So, taking my little name map, I'm gonna take Beautyverse Party Topper, which is this sort of rose gold on my inner eye, and I think I'm gonna try this Digital Lilac Crystal Glow, which is that really pretty lilac right there on kind of my outer lid. So I'm gonna use my finger to apply. Okay, so that is a very pretty sparkle, but it doesn't really have like color in the base. Like it's more just feels like I'm applying like a silver glitter. So I'm curious to see if this is a glitter palette or if it has some of her more traditional, I guess her traditional like shimmery shades. So let's go in with the purple on the outer. Oh yeah, this is feeling on my finger. It's picking up like it is just a glitter. Can definitely see that purple reflect. Okay, let's pop on some eyeliner and then I'll share with you my final thoughts. Okay, so next up we have the blush palette. So this is the Blush and Glow Glide palette. It's available in a fair medium and a medium deep. Obviously for myself, I purchased the fair medium, but I'll pop a picture up of medium deep over here so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the blush, and this looks like just such a happy, like pink, bit of a coral shade of blush. Yeah, this looks like I've been out in the cold and I'm a little frostbitten, but at the same time, it looks like it would look so pretty with a little bit of a tan. So I'm going in with my Refer number 5 brush and I'm just buffing it into the skin. Okay, I think that does look really pretty. It's a little bit intense, but that's okay. And we're gonna go in with the highlighting shade. The highlighter shade itself is a little bit of sort of like a pink champagne, dare I say. Definitely brings in those pink tones. A little cool, but not too icy. Okay, I'm gonna pop on some lipstick and then I'll show you the completed look. Okay, so here we have the final look, and I'm gonna start by saying I do really like how it turned out, but there's a lot of things I like in the palette and there's some things I don't, and I haven't fully made my mind up about it. And normally when I do a first impressions, I'm really sure, like I'm like, I love it or I hate it, and I don't know. Okay, so good news for you guys watching this video. I didn't have time to edit the video last night, so I have to put some makeup on anyways, and I figured let's do another look with this palette. I've already swatched them, so now I know which ones are toppers and which ones have more pigmentation, which we will get to later in the video. But I thought I would start by using this really pretty pink shade. So using this, it is Cosmic Pink Future Matte. We're gonna use that to sculpt out our lid. And I am once again wearing the blush and highlighter from the collection. And while it does look very bubblegummy in the palette, it has a nice sort of neutral rosy brown base to it. So I was worried that this was going to be too pink, but it's not. Okay, I think that's good for what we need. Let's put a little bit under my eyes. So I always like to take the brush and just pinch it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my finger. I'm gonna go in with the silver shade on my inner eyelid and the pink shade on the outer, and then we're gonna blend it together. Oh wow, this is like a blue silver, a blue tone to it. Well, this is gonna look fun because after I'm done filming today, I'm going to prenatal yoga. So I'm gonna be at prenatal yoga looking like this. Okay, let's go in. So the silver shade is Cyber Silver Crystal Glow, and then I'm going to Planet Pink Crystal Glow. So that silver one, really easy to blend. Definitely had to go in twice with the pink. So we're just gonna blend it in with that same brush. And we're gonna blend the silver out into the pink, I think. A bit more of an ombre effect. You know what these really remind me of? These remind me of the hypnotizing pop shots that were released, I wanna say last year around the holidays. Formula really reminds me of those. And I actually really like those and have been using them a lot lately. So let's bring a little bit more of that pink in now. Okay, so that does look softer, it doesn't look as intense. Let's add some eyeliner mascara and I'll show you the completed look. Overall, I really enjoyed playing with these eyeshadows, and I will say that there are kind of two different formulas that actually tend to have the same name in this palette. So they use Crystal Glow to describe 4 shadows and Party Topper to describe 1. But I would say that not all of the Crystal Glows are made the same. Some are more Party Toppers. And having now got to use the ones that I would consider not a topper, much more pigmented, much more enjoyable to work with, and definitely gives me a little bit more of the punch that I like. So one thing I have a deeper appreciation for in this palette now, having done the second look, is that you can do that very sort of light, trendy, sparkly, like the moon dust shadows from Urban Decay, or you can do something a little bit more pigmented, which would be this look. Okay, so before we get into discussing the palette, which I think will be a bit more of a wandering, nuanced, undecided vibe, let's talk about something I'm sure about, and that is this beautiful little blush palette. So again, available in 2 versions. There's a fair to medium and a medium deep. The medium deep is more of a brown tone, sort of rosy shade. It's very, very pretty. Going to pop it up over here. Now, the fair to medium, just a really pretty, like, happy pink, and somehow this pink manages, like, on me. Okay, it was a little intense when I first put it on, but now that it's had a minute to kind of like wear into my skin, Really, really pretty. It's a really happy pink. It's a really cheerful pink. It's a kind of pink where it's like if you're out in the cold and you're kind of snow-kissed, you've got like those rosy pink cheeks, you've got that going on. You've got a little bit of like a pink champagne highlighter, super, super pretty, like a rosé champagne. But it's also the kind of pink that I think wears really nicely year-round. I think sometimes holiday sets can veer a little bit too much into the I'm in the cold and my cheeks are pink look. But this pink, it has enough almost warmth, almost like a little bit of a coral to it, that I think will make it look really pretty in the summer when I have a bit of a tan. Love that it's a 2-in-1, love that it's travel size friendly. I can definitely see this being a part of my kind of like my travel makeup bag moving forward. It's small, it's great on space, it has a highlighter, so just love, love, love. $44 I think is an excellent value for this product. And by 44, I mean 43. Okay, so let's get into this palette. I'll start by saying both of the products are limited edition. This palette retails for 95 Canadian dollars, which is about what you would expect for a holiday kind of iconic eyeshadow palette from Charlotte Tilbury. My first note, before we even get into the format, is typically Charlotte Tilbury has done palettes like this over the last couple of years for holidays, so more of a longer, I believe it's traditionally a 12 pan, it's usually 4 sets of 3, I believe. And she's done those for the last couple of holidays. So I'm like a little bit almost surprised that she's veered away from that, because those palettes have honestly consistently some of my favorite formulas from Charlotte. Which brings me to the formula of this palette. So the pros, the pans are actually a lot larger than I thought. I'll start with the pros. The matte shades, and I'm calling them matte because they're not true mattes, they're sort of like a satiny matte. The 4 browns on the top and the pink, gorgeous. Like they build beautifully on the eyes. They were a joy to work with. They swatch nicely. They are really, really nice. Which leaves us with the balance of the pans. So we've got those kind of 4 satin matte shades, which in this palette obviously act as the mattes. And then we've got 5 shimmer shades. So we've got 5 shimmery shades. So again, bonus points for being a very usable palette. I feel like I can create multiple entire looks using this palette. So that is a win. And I know we're just saying, where's the but? Don't you worry, there's a but. So when you look at this palette, and I'll start by saying that when I'm reviewing makeup, I don't like to watch other people's reviews before I use the palette and before I film this video. This is truly my first time touching it, opening it. I don't even swatch it before I put it on my eyes because I want it to be that authentic first impressions. Like I really just want it to be, we're going on this makeup journey together. So when you look at the 5 shimmery shades, they on the top all look like an identical formula, but they're not. This silver shade here and this more fuchsia lilac over here, what are their names? See, not built into the palette. This would be useful if it was built into the palette. There's another point. Cyber Silver Crystal Glow and Planet Pink Crystal Glow. We're gonna talk about the names in a minute. Are much more pigmented in their base. So they really feel more like a very shimmery, like metallic satin kind of eyeshadow. Like maybe kind of like the eyeshadows that you'd see in Celestial Pearl. The other 3, and I'm gonna have to consult the names. So Beautyverse Party Topper. So hearing that name, I was expecting that to be a topper shade. I was expecting that one to be a topper and then the rest of them to be about the same, which is why I put down, if you'll recall, I put down a little bit more taupe on my eyelids to give it a little bit more base, and then I put the Beautyverse Party Topper on the inside of my lids. So the other 2, Digital Lilac Crystal Glow and Golden Galaxy Crystal Glow. You would think that all of the shadows that are crystal glows would be the same formula, but they're not. Digital Lilac and Golden Galaxy both are more like topper shades. So when I was looking at the names, I was anticipating a bit more pigmentation with the Digital Lilac, and I thought that would be a really nice combo. Whereas really, Crystal Lilac, Golden Galaxy, and Beautyverse Party Topper are all effectively topper shades. There's a touch more pigment in the Digital Lilac Crystal Glow, but you don't really see it looking straight on. But when I'm kind of like going back and forth like this, I see the reflect. If I had known that was the case, I would have gone with this shade on the outside because I wanted more of a topper on the inside, a little bit more pigmentation on the outside. Now, I say I'm a bit on the fence. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my perspective of if you have a normal size makeup collection. So you're not a Charlotte Tilbury enthusiast, you don't have a YouTube channel dedicated to makeup, you don't have a room in your house with a ring light and lights and a camera. I'm assuming that most of the people watching this are probably more in that situation. Which honestly, like, I probably shouldn't even have all this anyways. This eyeshadow palette is not an all-in-one palette for your collection. It's all-in-one in the sense that you can use this palette to create a full look, which is fantastic. It is not like, this wouldn't be the first palette in your collection. Like if you had a couple of eyeshadow palettes already, you had something neutral, you know, you had a couple of other palettes, I could see this being a great addition to your collection. But I don't think that most people get enough use out of this palette for it to be an everyday palette. This is definitely a special occasion palette when you want a bit more shimmer, you want a bit more sparkle. Like I could see myself wearing this palette to like a work holiday party, or like filming YouTube videos, or, you know, something where I really wanted just a little bit more like shimmer, you know, if I want to be bejeweled, dare I say. If you are new to makeup, this is not the palette to start with. First of all, working with topper shades can be a little bit tricky, but even beyond that, I don't think that you can create enough everyday kind of basic looks. And I think what we have to remember on YouTube with makeup is it's really fun to see our favorite influencers creating these like sparkly, vibrant looks. But when you think about how the average beauty consumer wears makeup, it's to work, it's to school, it's to family functions, it's just to look like a better version of yourself. I think for the average beauty consumer, this is a nice palette to add on to the collection, but it's not like where I would start. It's probably not even the third palette I would put in your collection. So we've got kind of those comments there, but on the plus side, the formulas are fun to work with, they're sparkly, they're shimmery, the pans are a good size, the palette itself is gorgeous, but at $95, I think that we have to just think about where this would fit into our collection. And there you have it, the two new limited edition products from Charlotte Tilbury this holiday season. We have this stunning eyeshadow palette and this beautiful blush duo. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found the nuance and the opinions helpful. If you're curious about my thoughts on Charlotte Tilbury's holiday collection as a whole, definitely check out a video I'm gonna have up later this week. We're gonna go through a bunch of the collections. I'm gonna share with you if I think it's worth your money, if I think it's something you should avoid, if it's just something I feel about, and you know, maybe that'll help guide your holiday wish list or holiday shopping for those that you love. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you love Charlotte Tilbury content, you love high-end makeup and beauty, definitely subscribe because we have lots more to share on all of those things as we head into the holiday season. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.